Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Muhammad Waqas Azim, Senior Subject Specialist Biology. I welcome you to the digital classes of DPS and Intercollege Sahiwal. Here I will teach you biology.
Dear students, today we will discuss the topic levels of biological organization. In this topic, first we will discuss bioelements and then different levels of biological organization. First we will define bioelements. Elements present in living organisms are called bioelements. We can define bioelements. Out of 92 naturally occurring elements, only 16 elements are commonly used in forming the chemical compounds from which living organisms are made. These 16 elements are called bioelements. We can classify bioelements into two categories: major bioelements and minor bioelements. We can define major bioelements. Out of 16 bioelements, 6 elements form the 99% body mass of living organisms. These are called major bioelements. These include oxygen. It is 65% by mass in living organisms. Second is carbon. It is 18% by mass in living organisms. Third is hydrogen. It is 10% by mass in living organisms. Fourth is nitrogen. It is 3% by mass. Next, calcium. It is 2% by mass in living organisms. And phosphorus is 1% by mass in living organisms. Second are minor bioelements. Out of 16 bioelements, 10 bioelements form the 1% body mass of living organisms. These are called minor bioelements. These include potassium 0.35%, sulfur 0.25%, chlorine 0.15%, sodium 0.15%, magnesium 0.05%, iron 0.004%, 4 elements copper, zinc, manganese and iodine. These are in traces. Traces means that they are in very small amount. Now we will discuss some properties of bioelements. The bioelements have specific properties which make them suitable for life. These 16 bioelements are present in all living organisms. The properties of bioelements differ from those elements that are present in non-living things. Biological organization is not simple. It has high degree of complexity. Living things are highly organized and complex because in living things hundreds of chemical reactions are taking place. This character distinguishes living things from non-living things. A living organism is composed of highly structured living substance called protoplasm. Students, what is protoplasm? Nucleus and cytoplasm are collectively called protoplasm. It is living part of the cell. Now we will study different levels of biological organization. First level of biological organization is subatomic and atomic level. First we will study subatomic level. At subatomic level, we study 3 stable subatomic particles, that is electrons, protons and neutrons. How will we define subatomic particles? Particles that make up an atom are called subatomic particles. Next level of biological organization is atomic level. When subatomic particles assemble, atom is formed. Atom is the smallest particle of an element that retains the properties of that element. This is the definition of atom. Next level of biological organization is molecular level. लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स में डिफरेंट बायो एलिमेंट्स के एटम सेपरेटली एग्जिस्ट नहीं करते, बल्कि डिफरेंट बायो एलिमेंट्स के एटम्स आयनिक या कोवलेंट बॉन्ड के जरिए जब आपस में जुड़ते हैं तो मॉलिक्यूल्स बनते हैं। तो मॉलिक्यूल्स को हम डिफाइन करेंगे एटम्स ऑफ डिफरेंट बायो एलिमेंट्स combined by ionic or covalent bond to form molecules. Molecule is a fundamental unit of a chemical compound that can take part in a chemical reaction. Hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus and calcium are the most common atoms found in biological molecules. And all these are major bioelements. For example, in carbohydrates, three elements are present: carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. And all these are major bioelements. In the same way, lipids also contain three elements: carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. These three elements are major bioelements. Proteins contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur. These are also major bioelements. Nucleic acids contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and phosphorus. These are also major bioelements. Now we will study types of molecules. On the basis of molecular weight, we can classify molecules into micromolecules and macromolecules. We can define micromolecules. Molecules having lower molecular weight are called micromolecules. For example, carbon dioxide and water. Second are macromolecules. Molecules having higher molecular weight are called macromolecules. For example, amino acids, sugars, starch, proteins, etc. We can also classify molecules on the basis of presence or absence of carbon and hydrogen into organic molecules and inorganic molecules. We can define organic molecules. Molecules that contain both carbon and hydrogen together are called organic molecules. For example, glucose. Its molecular formula is C6H12O6. In glucose, both carbon and hydrogen are present together. Therefore, it is organic molecule. Next are inorganic molecules. Molecules that do not contain both carbon and hydrogen together are called inorganic molecules. For example, carbon dioxide. In carbon dioxide, carbon is present but hydrogen is absent. Second example of inorganic molecule is water. In water, hydrogen is present but carbon is absent. Therefore, carbon dioxide and water are inorganic molecules because in these molecules, carbon and hydrogen are not present together. Next level of biological organization is organelles and cell level. Definition: different and enormous number of micromolecules and macromolecules arrange themselves in a particular way to form cells and their organelles. First, we will study organelle level. Organelles are also called subcellular structures. सबसेलुलर स्ट्रक्चर्स का मतलब है सेल से छोटे स्ट्रक्चर्स। ऑर्गेनेल्स को हम डिफाइन करेंगे अ स्ट्रक्चर विद इन अ सेल that performs a specific function. Each organelle performs a specific function. It is called division of labor. For example, mitochondria performs cellular respiration. माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया सेलुलर रेस्पिरेशन क्यों करते हैं? क्योंकि माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया के अंदर वो एंजाइम्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं जो उन रिएक्शंस को कैटलाइज करते हैं जो रेस्पिरेशन में होते हैं. इसी तरह से क्लोरोप्लास्ट प्लांट्स में प्रेजेंट होते हैं. क्लोरोप्लास्ट का फंक्शन है फोटोसिंथेसिस. क्लोरोप्लास्ट फोटोसिंथेसिस क्यों करते हैं? क्योंकि क्लोरोप्लास्ट के अंदर क्लोरोफिल होता है जो कि सनलाइट की एनर्जी को अब्सॉर्ब करता है. इसके अलावा क्लोरोप्लास्ट के अंदर वो एंजाइम्स भी प्रेजेंट होते हैं जो उन रिएक्शंस को कैटलाइज करते हैं जो फोटोसिंथेसिस में होते हैं. इसी तरह से राइबोसोम्स का फंक्शन है प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस. इस तरह से हर ऑर्गेनेल जो वो अपना एक स्पेसिफिक फंक्शन परफॉर्म करता है जिसकी वजह से उसकी एफिशिएंसी इंक्रीज हो जाती है और वो अपने फंक्शन ज्यादा बेटर तरीके से परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं. Next level of biological organization is cell level. When different organelles assemble, cell is formed, the unit of life. Classification of organisms on the number of cells. We can classify organisms into unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms are composed of single cell. For example, bacteria and most of protists, while multicellular organisms are made up of trillions of cells, for example plants, animals, etc. Types of cells on the basis of organelles. On the basis of presence or absence of organelles, cells are divided into prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells lack membrane-bonded organelles, for example, bacterial cell, while eukaryotic cells have membrane-bonded organelles, for example, plant, animal, and fungal cell. Students, you can see that in eukaryotic cell, different membrane-bonded organelles are present. For example, endoplasmic reticulum. These are membrane-bonded organelles. Then nucleus. It is also membrane-bonded. Golgi apparatus. It is membrane-bonded organelle. Mitochondria, chloroplast. All these are membrane-bonded organelles. While in prokaryotic cells, no membrane-bonded organelles are present. In prokaryotic cells, only ribosomes are present. These ribosomes are also present in eukaryotic cells, but ribosomes are not membrane-bonded organelles. Membrane-bonded organelles are only present in eukaryotic cells. Next level of biological organization is tissue level. We can define tissues. In multicellular animals and plants, groups of similar cells organized in loose bundles or sheets performing a common function. We will explain two examples. First is epithelial tissues. In epithelial tissues, similar cells are arranged in sheets. Sheets का मतलब है in the form of layers. While second is skeletal tissues. In skeletal tissues, these cells are arranged in the form of bundles. We can simply define tissues, groups of similar cells performing a common function. Examples of tissues in animals are muscular tissues. Muscular tissues are specialized for contraction and relaxation, due to which different parts of body move. Similarly, glandular tissues, these are for secretions. For example, cells of gastric gland in stomach release gastric juice. In plants, different tissues are present. For example, xylem tissues. Xylem tissues conduct water and minerals in plants. Phloem tissues transport food in plants. Next level of biological organization is organ level. Different tissues having related functions assemble to form organs. यानी different tissues जिनके functions related यानी मिलते जुलते होते हैं वो assemble होते हैं तो organs बनते हैं. In animals, organ level is well developed. Each organ performs a specific function. जिस तरह से एक सेल के फंक्शन उसके ऑर्गन्स परफॉर्म करते हैं, इसी तरह से एक ऑर्गेनिज्म के फंक्शंस उसके ऑर्गन्स परफॉर्म करते हैं. हम स्टडी करेंगे स्टमक, जो कि एक एनिमल ऑर्गन. स्टमक डाइजेस्ट प्रोटीन पार्ट ऑफ फूड. स्टमक में डिफरेंट टाइप के टिश्यूज होंगे जिनका फंक्शन डाइजेशन से रिलेटेड होगा. First is secretory epithelium. This tissue secretes gastric juice. Gastric juice have an enzyme pepsin, which digests protein part of food. Second are muscular tissues, that is smooth muscles. Smooth muscles contract and breaks the food into smaller pieces and also mix gastric juice with the food. So functions of these tissues are related to digestion. Therefore, they are the part of stomach. The organ level of organization is much less definite in plants than it is in animals. Now we will study organs in plants. In plants, two types of organs are present: vegetative organs and reproductive organs. Vegetative organs are those that are not involved in sexual reproduction. Examples of vegetative organs in plants are root, stem, and leaves. And second are reproductive organs or reproductive parts. Reproductive parts are involved in sexual reproduction. These are flowers and fruits. Next level of biological organization is organ system level. Different organs having related functions assemble to form an organ system. We will study digestive system in animals. The organs that form digestive system are oral cavity, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, liver, pancreas. All these organs are related to digestion. Therefore, these organs assemble to form digestive system. Organ systems are absent in plants. Next level of biological organization is individual level, the whole organism. Definition: different organs in plants and organ systems in animals assemble to form an individual, the whole organism. Each individual has some characteristics that distinguish him from other individuals of same species. For example, each human is different from others in height, skin color, blood groups, etc. No two individuals are genetically same except identical twins. Therefore, an individual is somewhat different from others in the same species. In animals, all these systems work in coordination. Coordination का मतलब होता है मिलके काम करना. तो एनिमल्स में जितने भी ऑर्गन सिस्टम्स होते हैं वो कोऑर्डिनेशन के साथ काम करते हैं, मिलके काम करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, व्हेन अ मैन इज डूइंग हार्ड एक्सरसाइज, हिज मसल्स आर वर्किंग वेरी फास्ट, इंक्रीज्ड हार्ट बीट एंड रेस्पिरेशन, more food and oxygen are supplied to muscles for continuous exercise. If there is no coordination, we will not be able to perform any activity and our life will not be possible. For example, हमने कहा कि एक इंसान हार्ड एक्सरसाइज कर रहा है तो उसके मसल्स बहुत तेजी से काम कर रहे होते हैं, उसमें हार्ट बीट इंक्रीज हो जाता है, रेस्पिरेशन ब्रीदिंग रेट इंक्रीज हो जाता है, ज्यादा ऑक्सीजन और फूड सेल्स को सप्लाई होती है ताकि ज्यादा एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस हो। अगर सिर्फ एक प्रोसेस हार्ट बीट ही स्लो हो जाए तो फिर वो बंदा एक्सरसाइज की एक्टिविटी परफॉर्म नहीं कर सकता। In animals, coordination is brought about by nervous system and endocrine system. Nervous system consists of central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord, while peripheral nervous consists of nerves. Second system for coordination in animals is endocrine system. Endocrine system consists of endocrine glands, and these endocrine glands produce hormones. In plants, coordination is brought about by growth hormones. But in plants, no endocrine glands are present. In plants, growth hormones are produced at the tips of root and shoot. And in plants, only 5 growth hormones are present: auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, abscisic acid, and ethylene. Due to coordination, an organism works as a whole and respond to changes in the environment. Now we will study higher levels of biological organization. Higher levels of biological organization includes first population. Population क्या होती है? एक ही स्पीशीज के इंडिविजुअल्स जो एक ही जगह पे रह रहे हो एक ही वक्त में, वो पॉपुलेशन होगी उस स्पीशीज की, उस एरिया की। पॉपुलेशन को हम डिफाइन करेंगे इंडिविजुअल्स ऑफ अ स्पीशीज लिविंग इन सेम एरिया एट द सेम टाइम। एग्जाम्पल्स: नंबर ऑफ रैट्स इन अ फील्ड इन अ पर्टिकुलर ईयर, ह्यूमन पॉपुलेशन इन अ सिटी इन अ पर्टिकुलर ईयर आर द एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ पॉपुलेशन। Now we will study some attributes of population. These attributes of population cannot be studied on other levels of biological organization. These are only the character of population level. First is gene frequency. Gene frequency means relative frequency of a gene or allele in a population. For example, there are 3 alleles for ABO blood group system in humans. Allele IA specifies antigen A, allele IB specifies antigen B, and allele small I, it do not specify any antigen. Frequency of allele IA in human population is 0.26. Frequency of allele IB in human population is 0.14, and frequency of allele small I in human population is 0.60, and frequency of these 3 alleles will be equal to 1. Now we can say that more people in human population have blood group O because allele small I, its frequency is more than allele IA and IB. Therefore, more people have blood group O in human population. Second attribute is gene flow. Gene flow means transfer of genes between 2 remote populations of same species. For example, humans की 2 populations हैं जो एक दूसरे से बहुत ज़्यादा डिस्टेंस पे एग्जिस्ट करती हैं। ह्यूमंस की एक पॉपुलेशन से जीन्स ह्यूमंस की दूसरी पॉपुलेशन में ट्रांसफर हो सकते हैं। अगर ह्यूमंस की एक पॉपुलेशन से कोई इंसान दूसरी ह्यूमन पॉपुलेशन में जाके इंटरब्रीड करे तो इसे हम कहेंगे जीन फ्लो। यानी एक स्पीशीज की जो 2 पॉपुलेशंस होती हैं उनके दरमियान में जीन का फ्लो हो सकता है। इससे हम सिर्फ पॉपुलेशन लेवल पे स्टडी कर सकते हैं। थर्ड इज एज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। एज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में हम स्टडी करते हैं कि ह्यूमंस की जो डिफरेंट पॉपुलेशंस हैं, किस पॉपुलेशन में किस एज के लोग नंबर में कितने हैं, इससे हम एज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में स्टडी करेंगे। ये भी पॉपुलेशन लेवल का एट्रीब्यूट है। नेक्स्ट इज पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी। पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी मीन्स नंबर ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स पर यूनिट एरिया। And last attribute of population is population pressure. Population pressure means effect of overpopulation on natural resources. Next level of biological organization is community level. एक एरिया में सिर्फ एक स्पीशीज की पॉपुलेशन एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती, बल्कि एक एरिया में डिफरेंट स्पीशीज की पॉपुलेशंस प्रेजेंट होती हैं और उन पॉपुलेशंस का आपस का इंटरेक्शन जो है उसे हम कम्युनिटी कहते हैं। तो कम्युनिटी को हम डिफाइन करेंगे, पॉपुलेशंस ऑफ डिफरेंट स्पीशीज प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स असेंबल टू फॉर्म अ कम्युनिटी। Communities are dynamic collection of organisms in which one population may increase and other may decrease due to fluctuations in abiotic factors. Abiotic factors are non-living things of environment. एक कम्युनिटी जो है उसमें डिफरेंट स्पीशीज की पॉपुलेशंस फिक्स नंबर में नहीं होती। एबायोटिक फैक्टर में चेंज से किसी एक पॉपुलेशन की तादाद नंबर में कम हो सकती है और किसी दूसरी स्पीशीज की पॉपुलेशन की तादाद ज्यादा हो सकती है कम्युनिटी में, एबायोटिक फैक्टर्स में चेंज की वजह से। इसलिए हम कह सकते हैं कि कम्युनिटी जो है वो एक डायनेमिक कलेक्शन होती है ऑर्गेनिजम्स की, यानी एक कम्युनिटी के अंदर ऑर्गेनिजम्स कभी भी फिक्स नंबर में नहीं होते, बल्कि किसी स्पीशीज के ऑर्गेनिजम्स नंबर में कम हो सकते हैं, किसी स्पीशीज के ऑर्गेनिजम्स नंबर में ज्यादा हो सकते हैं, एबायोटिक फैक्टर्स में चेंज की वजह से। टू टाइप्स की कम्युनिटीज प्रेजेंट होती हैं, सिंपल कम्युनिटी और कम्प्लेक्स कम्युनिटी। सिंपल कम्युनिटी में नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशंस कम होंगी, जबकि कम्प्लेक्स कम्युनिटी में नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशंस ज्यादा होती हैं। अगर एबायोटिक या बायोटिक फैक्टर्स में कोई चेंज आ जाए तो सिंपल कम्युनिटी के ऊपर बहुत ड्रास्टिक इफेक्ट्स होते हैं, क्योंकि सिंपल कम्युनिटी में नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशंस कम होती हैं। और अगर एबायोटिक या बायोटिक फैक्टर्स में चेंज आए तो बहुत सी पॉपुलेशंस उस कम्युनिटी की खत्म हो जाएंगी और वो कम्युनिटी सरवाइव नहीं करेगी। जबकि कम्प्लेक्स कम्युनिटी में नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशंस बहुत ज्यादा होती हैं और अगर एबायोटिक या बायोटिक फैक्टर्स में कोई चेंज आ जाए तो कुछ पॉपुलेशंस खत्म हो जाएंगी उस कम्युनिटी में, लेकिन बाकी पॉपुलेशंस कम्युनिटी की एग्जिस्ट करेंगी, जिसकी वजह से कम्प्लेक्स कम्युनिटी के ऊपर एबायोटिक या बायोटिक फैक्टर्स में चेंज के ज्यादा ड्रास्टिक इफेक्ट्स नहीं होंगे। Now we will study feeding relationships of organisms in a community. First is parasitism. In parasitism, one organism called parasite lives and feeds on its host and cause harm to its host. Second feeding relationship in community is predation. In predation, one animal called predator actively hunts its prey. Third feeding relationship is mutualism. Mutualism is a symbiotic relationship in which both organisms get benefit. For example, lichens. Lichens is a mutual beneficial association between algae and fungi. Next feeding relationship is commensalism. Commensalism is a symbiotic relationship in which one organism get benefit and other is unaffected. For example, relationship of lichens and tree trunk. Lichens grow on tree trunks. Lichens have advantage that they got habitat from the tree trunk, but tree trunk has no benefit or loss. Next is competition. Competition may be for food, shelter, between individuals of same species or individuals of different species. Now we will study some differences between population and community. Population is a group of individuals of same species, while community is a group of populations of two or more different species. Second, population is a small group and community is comparatively a large group. Third, in population, all the individuals are morphologically and behaviorally similar, while in community, individuals of different populations are different morphologically and behaviorally. Next difference is, in population, individuals interbreed freely, while in community, individuals of different species do not interbreed. And last difference is, in population, there is no predator-prey, host-parasite or symbiotic relationship, while in community, there is predatory-prey, host-parasite or symbiotic relationship among individuals of different species. In population, only competition is present. Competition is also present in community. And next level of biological organization is ecosystem. We will define ecosystem are the communities in an area and their interaction with abiotic factors form ecosystem. For example, pond ecosystem. Pond ecosystem includes all populations of living organisms in pond, that is biotic factors, and their interaction with abiotic factors, that is non-living part of pond ecosystem that affects on living things of pond. For example, water, temperature, nutrients, dissolved gases, that is carbon dioxide and oxygen, etc. We will study two differences between community and ecosystem. Community is a group of several types of organisms living in a particular environment that interacts with each other. Ecosystem is all biotic and abiotic factors of a particular environment that interacts with each other. And second is community comprises only biotic factors in a particular environment, while ecosystem comprises both biotic and abiotic factors in a particular environment. Students, this was the end of our today's topic. In next lecture, we study biomes, living world in time, and important MCQs and short questions related to levels of biological organizations, biomes, and living world in time. Till that, Allah Hafiz.